you struggling with my English, and if I start speaking too fast, just wave your hands, or even better, throw the chocolate at me. You guys are going to do a lot of the work today. My goal for this morning session is to help you write better ads than you've ever written. So how many people here write your own Google ads? Okay. How many people here have some campaign or some ad group where you're stuck, where you just can't get an improvement? You've been testing ads, and it's kind of stuck. Okay. Just a few people. How many people here are great at writing ads, and your ads are working perfectly, and you don't need to be here right now? Okay. How are we doing? Okay. So did you hear the one? Okay. So, why don't we pretend the slides are up, and I'll just start. So, the first slide is, who here has seen the movie Star Trek 4? Remember it? They go back in time to save the whale, because the aliens are coming to destroy the Earth, and the blue whale is extinct, and the blue whale is the only creature who can communicate with the aliens. So the crew of the Enterprise has to go back in time and save the whale. So they find the whale, and they go back to San Francisco in the 1980s. Anyone not remember this movie? And they have to access the computer. And the computer is a vintage Macintosh with the old mouse. And so Scotty, the engineer, picks up the mouse, and he says, "Okay, computer, computer." And of course, the person who owns the computer, whose office it is looking at him like he's insane. And he finally puts it down in disgust and says, "Oh," and he starts typing. And then he accesses the information he needs. So let's think about the act of search. If someone goes to their computer and does a Google search, what does Google make them do? Imagine the Google page. It says Google, and then there's a box. How big is the box? It's tiny. How many words can you fit into the box? 2, 3, 1, 5. You can type a lot, but Google's only going to consider a certain number of characters. So Google is forcing you to sit and type. When you really want to pick up the mouse and say, "Computer, Google, I have a problem." Right? Let me explain my problem to you, Google. My problem is I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro. I just bought it 2 weeks ago. I brought it here for this presentation, and when I plug it in, it doesn't appear on the screen. So I have to take and I have a DVI adapter with a mini, and it's going to a regular VGA cable. And now when I put it on, it sees it. When I go to settings, it says, "Okay, here's the two displays, but we still can't see it on the screen." Okay, that's what I want to tell the Google. But instead, I have to think of words to type. So what do I type? I type in MacBook Pro LCD projector problem. Right? And that doesn't work. Because I look and I get all these forums from 2007. So I figured whatever problem I have, it's a new problem. It wasn't around in 2007. So really, instead, what I think I was supposed to talk about was a lot of technical aspects of AdWords, how to do the specifics. I think that information is a lot of it's going to be covered by other speakers. A lot of it is in, I think it's in the German edition of the book. It's certainly in the English edition. And so what I really want to get to is the DNA of search. What is search really all about, and how can we use that knowledge to improve the ads that we write? So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to reverse engineer the keywords back into those long stories. So if I type in MacBook projector problem, your people, your searchers are typing in teeny little words, but they represent big stories. They represent the person who wants to speak to Google and tell it exactly what the problem is, but they can't. So we can reverse engineer that. The second thing we're going to do is then once we understand how to reverse engineer, that's great, but we have to write ads. So I'm going to show you how to write what I call game over ads. And then the third thing we're going to do, and I'm not sure if we're going to get to it now or in the second session, I'll be flexible, is how to systematically assess your competition, because there's three elements to this whole system. We have your customer, the person who's searching. We have your offer, what's in your ad, but we also have all the other ads and listings on the page. So we're going to look at how to combine all three to win. Okay, so that lady, what's wrong with her? She has a headache, right? What does she type into Google when she has a headache? Does she type headache or headaches? Singular. Why?
She would only have one headache at a time.
Yeah, she's having a headache now, so she types in headache. But why would somebody type in headaches? Because they're not having one now. People type in headaches when they had one yesterday, or when someone else is having a headache. Headache is a huge sense of urgency. I need a solution right now. Headaches is informational. I want to know, I want to understand, I want to know what my options are. So how many of you have ad groups where you put similar keywords together? You put singular and plural together because they're similar. They're not. Singular and plural can be very different. So to understand what's going on with a particular keyword, you have to put yourself in the position of the person who's searching. So has anyone here studied acting? So when you study acting as a method actor, you become the person that you're going to portray. You imagine, what was their childhood like? How does their body feel? How do they move? And that's what I'm suggesting you do when you sit down to write an ad.